Hey, what is going on, guys? Golden Eagle here, back with some more Titanfall gameplay. In this video, I want to give you guys my honest review of the game after playing it for a couple weeks, and what I like and dislike about it, and how I think it stacks up against other FPS games. So, does Titanfall live up to all the hype that, has been surrounding it since basically they unveiled it? They showed it off at E3. Everybody was getting all excited about it. They're like, oh, it's the big Xbox One game. So, I'd say yes and no. I'd say yes on the gameplay side of things. It's definitely a fun game, no doubt, and all the different gameplay mechanics that it brings to the table, I think they work all pretty well, or really well, actually, to be honest. The parkour, wall running, and jumping around are all great. The Titans themselves are great, and they're fun to use, and I think they're pretty much balanced. They're not too powerful, and if you're smart when using them, they're not too weak either. The guns are decent, but I do wish there were more of them because it feels like only a few are really useful, and that's sort of my problem with the game, guys. I wish there was just more to it. For some reason, after playing it for a few weeks, I feel like I'm sort of bored of it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe bored isn't the right word, but I just don't have the urge to play it for like hours on end, like I've had with like Call of Duty or Battlefield or even Halo in the past. I don't know, it just feels like once I've quickly gone through all the campaign missions, and I'm doing air quotes because, as you guys probably know, the game doesn't have a traditional campaign. It's just basically the same multiplayer modes and missions, just repackaged as sort of a campaign with like additional dialogue and like small little cutscenes before and after some of the missions. But yeah, once I've gone through all those, I've unlocked all the weapons and all the attachments for all them, all the different perks and the Titan loadouts and stuff like that. I've reached the maximum level and I've already prestiged once. I don't know, I just feel like I have the feeling that I've already seen all the game has to offer me. I definitely wouldn't call it a bad game, and I'm not bashing on the game or anything. I do think it's definitely a really fun game and a good addition to the FPS genre, but for some reason I'm just not really feeling it that much. And I feel like I'm not the only one who feels that way. The game itself, it was very popular for like the first day or so when it came out on Twitch, and it was actually on the top of Twitch for that time. Like it was up there with League of Legends, which is like always the most popular game. Like everyone was checking it out right after it came out. It had like so much hype and so much excitement around it, and everybody was watching it live. Everybody wanted to see what it was all about, and it was even higher than Call of Duty on Twitch. Much more people were watching it and stuff like that. But it seems like now that everyone's played the game a little and seen it for a couple of days. Well, it's been weeks now, but even a few days after it came out, that its popularity has taken like a drastic nosedive down. If you look at some really popular commentators on YouTube who have made videos about Titanfall, most of their Titanfall videos, if you notice, are getting much lower views than the normal videos that they usually put out. Before the game came out, I thought it would be the total opposite. I thought that videos about Titanfall, like tips and tricks, or weapon loadouts, or even just good gameplay would be like hugely popular. But it seems like people really don't care about the game as much as I thought they would. I don't know. If I'm going to try to put my finger on exactly why I think this is happening, I think there's two main reasons. One is that the game's only on Xbox and on PC. So right there, that eliminates all of the PlayStation players from really caring about Titanfall videos. And also, the PS4 is a little bit more popular than the Xbox One. Definitely not a PlayStation fanboy. I like both of the consoles, but it's just the facts. The PS4 is selling, a little bit more than the Xbox One. Not hugely better or anything, but it's still more popular. So the fact that the game came out only on the less popular console could mean that content about it and videos about it and stuff is less popular too. I think Respawn honestly made a mistake just making Titanfall for Xbox, even though I'm sure Microsoft paid them a great deal of money to make it that way. But don't get me wrong, the game has been successful, just on its own right, how it is right now, just on Xbox One and PC, and it's sold really well and everything. But I don't think it's sold quite as well as Respawn or the publisher EA Games might have wanted it to sell. If it were on the PS4 too, I think the game would have even better exposure, and the PS4 version would probably have looked a little bit better than the Xbox One, because, you guys probably have heard this a million times already, but the PlayStation 4, at least right now, is a little bit more powerful than the Xbox One, so a lot of games run better on the PS4. They run at native 1080p, a lot of them. Whereas on the Xbox One versions, they run at a lower 720p. They still look great and everything, but, the PS4 usually has the best version of the game that you could get besides, obviously if it's on PC, it's going to look the best. But between the two consoles, the PS4 usually has the games that look a little bit better. So, if it was on the PS4, I think the game could have indeed looked a little bit better, and, they could have gotten even more out of it, because then all the PlayStation players would be interested in it too. And actually, they've already hinted that if there's a sequel, it will probably be on the PS4 too next time. So I'm sure we'll see the Titanfall series on PlayStation next time around. But the next reason why I feel like me and a lot of other people are losing interest in the game is the lack of content in Titanfall. The move by Respawn to make the game multiplayer only, I think it was a pretty risky one on their part. And for me personally, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a move that doesn't really pay off too well. I just feel like I want more stuff to do in the game. Even in the multiplayer itself, there's only a handful of modes and weapons, and there's not too many attachments for all the different weapons. And there's not too really many good useful perks either. There's only like one or two like in each slot that are really useful, and the other ones just feel kind of lame. And it's like, why is that even there? I'm never going to use that, so I don't know. Of course, I'm just a simple gamer, and I obviously don't know everything that goes into making games, and I'm not an expert or anything, but if I was Respawn and I had like all the power that they have, to go back in time and to like make any changes that I want, I think there's 3 different things that I would do differently than the way they did it. First, since they want to focus on only multiplayer gameplay, I would have made the campaign a 4 to 6 player co-op only mode. So think of the campaign of like Halo 3, guys. That's kind of what I'm thinking of, where you can play the whole thing with up to 3 people, so a 4-player co-op mode. And then you have a scoring system that rewards you for headshots and double kills and like getting cool kills and chaining kills together and things like that. You can rack up score and kind of compete with other people that you're playing cooperatively with. And I would have put something very similar to that in Titanfall, and I would have made it more like a traditional campaign at the same time too, like with cutscenes and backstory and everything that would flesh out the world. And like I said, it would be co-op only, so you make it so that you have to play with at least one other person to be able to do it. So this way they could still market Titanfall as only a multiplayer only game, but they could still have more like a traditional campaign at the same time. Alright, but let's say they didn't do that, and they just released the game as it is now. So then what I would do different is I would either make the game cheaper, like $30 or $40, because I honestly don't think it's quite worth the $60 price, just based on the content that's already in the game. It just doesn't feel like kind of like a full, complete game, if you guys know what I mean. Or even better than reducing the price to $30 or $40, I might even make the game free to play. There's tons of statistics out there on all gaming news websites, and you guys can look it up easily, that prove that free-to-play games actually make the companies more money than if they were to release a game at full price. So what they could have done is release the game free, just as it is now, exactly how it is now, and then every week, for a couple of weeks or just over a period of time, they can release new weapon packs or attachment packs or like new modes or new maps like every couple of weeks. Obviously, I don't know how hard that would be to do, and how what resources they have at Respawn, but I think that would be pretty cool to see. And they could only charge like a couple of bucks each for them. So like a weapon pack with like maybe like 3 or 4 different weapons and like all new attachments and stuff that comes with it, it could be like $1 or $2, and they could release like one of those like every week or like every 2 weeks or something like that, or like once a month. And then this way people could try out the game for free, and I mean, they're already giving the game away free with the Xbox One bundle. Like if you buy Titanfall bundled with the Xbox One, you don't have to pay any extra. It's just the same price as the console, so you're getting the game for free anyway. So what they could do is release the game free to everybody, and then everybody could try it out, see if they like it. And then, they could see, wow, the gameplay is really fun, but I want more out of it. So then every couple of weeks they could buy the new weapons and the new maps and stuff, and only spend a couple bucks. So this way Respawn and Microsoft, they make their money, and people get to start off with the game, see that the gameplay is really fun, and they get to keep getting more content for it, like continuously on a regular basis. Well, anyway, those are just some of my thoughts and ideas on different things Respawn could have done on Titanfall, or maybe could do in the future with like Titanfall 2 and the sequels. Like I said before, guys, I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular gamer like you guys. But those are just some of my opinions and thoughts about it. So, in conclusion, I would say that Titanfall is good, but it's not great. I like the game, and the gameplay is great, and it's fun and everything, but I just wish there's more to it. And overall, I would say it's a decent start to the franchise, and I think it could really take off with future games. I mean, look at Call of Duty. It took 4 games for it to really become what it is today. I mean, COD 1, 2, and 3, they were all good games, pretty good or okay games, or even, really good games, but none of them were really great. None of them like really stood out, amongst the pack. It wasn't until Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1, that Call of Duty really took off. It really like did everything perfect. It really like hit its stride, and it really became the popular franchise that it is today. So maybe the same thing could happen with Titanfall. The first game's good, but it's not really great. But maybe they could take all the feedback from us, take that into account, and then put that all in Titanfall 2, and who knows, Titanfall 2 could be a really big contender in the FPS genre, up there with Call of Duty and Battlefield. And of course, like I said before, the second one's probably going to be on PlayStation as well, so it'll be on all the consoles and everyone will get a chance to play it. And hopefully it'll be an even better game than the first one. So right now, I don't think Titanfall is really too much of a threat to Call of Duty or Battlefield. I don't think it's definitely not going to dethrone either of them as like the kings of the FPS genre. But who knows, in the future, when Titanfall sequels get released, those could be serious contenders to Call of Duty or Battlefield. Okay guys, so that was my sort of review and thoughts about Titanfall. Let me know what you guys think of the game, if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.